Namaste, beautiful cosmic beings. Happy 2021. So I want to welcome in this next spin around the sun, the next 13 moon cycle, by sharing a reading that I just did. So often when I do the readings, I might ask, I'm downloading information, or I'm looking for insight or guidance for a month, a week, particular moment in time. But this time I didn't do that. I just kind of pulled the cards to see what would come. And this most certainly is a reading for 2021, for this year. It's got this real kind of visionary feeling and sense of giving us a little bit of a glimpse or snapshot into what this year holds for us. Now, I feel deep within me that this is a year of incredible things. I know deep within my bones that this year we as humanity are really going to come together, and we are going to work through all of the stuff that 2020 brought up for us. So we are at astrologically at a time when our solar system is, our planet particularly, is coming into various astrological alignments and astrological regions and cycles that are bringing us naturally into an ascension phase. So what this means is that we are being pummeled and experiencing really high vibrational energy from different parts of the solar system, from other planets, from other star systems, from different parts of the galaxy that we're moving into, and so forth, from cosmic radiation. There's just so much energy coming into our planet, our solar system, our galaxy at this time. And it's naturally raising our vibrational frequency because we are energy. So as that energy raises our vibrational frequency, it literally alters us. It alters us on all levels, mind, body, and soul. And what it does to our consciousness is it evolves our consciousness. So we naturally find ourselves thinking differently, feeling differently, being differently. On the physical level, our technologies are being activated, different technologies that we perhaps have allowed to lay dormant over the years, over the decades, over the millennia, are being reactivated sheerly through this energy that's coming in. And those of us that are really tuning into this and are calling, inviting this in, and are working with energy, we're going to find ourselves switching on technologies, experiencing different aspects of ourselves, thinking differently, naturally just being lighter. We're going to unburden and drop a lot of the old energetic baggage, trauma, karma. A lot of that will happen naturally, and a lot of it will come up because it requires us to really kind of take that work on and actively be involved in the process of it. So 2020 was all about this energy coming in and sifting everything to the surface. So all of our collective fears, everything that we've created really came up in a big way last year with the global pandemic and just how that all played out, the fear that is there and what's happening with people's personal relationships. And all of that was like a big giant soup that we created. And we've got to take responsibility for this because we are here as creators of this universe. We cannot put blame on others. We can't blame the media, this and the agenda of whatever. We are all creating this together. And when you and I choose to sit here and we choose to buy into that narrative, we choose to watch the stuff on the news and have arguments with people about supposed this and supposed that, when we choose to do that, we are giving in and we're buying into it, and we are actively indulging and creating that reality with everybody else. Okay, when we step out of that and we choose not to be affected by the fear, not to indulge in those conversations, to maintain a certain disposition, when we do that, we create our own reality based on what we feel, you know. And when we correct ourselves, we work on ourselves, we're giving ourselves that opportunity to create a reality that is more mindful. Okay, so this year, this is what this is all about. This is about us really truly seeing that year for what it was, and coming together and doing something about it, taking evolutionary action. My sense is it's going to get a bit weirder before it gets better, because I think that on the level of my mind, I think that, you know, we're still coming together with humanity. Okay, and there is still, you know, we know this, we have conversations with people, and it's, you know, I'm at a place right now where I don't want to force people to try and change their opinion, but I'm wondering, what is the way? How are we going to see collectively what we are creating? And so I see on the level of the mind, but I also know deep within me that actually things have got to get really, really crazy for us to really see the circus that we've created, to be like, okay, that's something that we really, really need to look at. So I think things are going to get a bit crazier before they get a little bit smoother. So Evolutionary Action 2021 has been, for me, it's felt like the theme. So what's actually being pulled with these cards? So the first card that I always pull is the card in the East. And this is the illuminating card. This is showing us, shedding the light on what is to come, what we need to see, what we need to focus on. And the card that I pulled was impartiality. So this card is really interesting because it goes beyond just the, you know, just the kind of meaning and the definition of what being impartial is, because sometimes, you know, we can have this sense that I'm going to be impartial here, but actually I'm still going to hold on to my beliefs, my thinking, my way of doing things. And what this card is asking us to do is a beautiful line in the book. It says that when we can color somebody else's world in the love of their neighbor's eyes, they will understand to accept one another. So when we can color the world in our neighbor's eyes, then we will learn to understand and accept one another. So when we learn to see what others appreciate, what others value, what others find helpful, when we learn to appreciate that regardless of what we think about it and how different that is to how we are and our own values and principles, but when we learn to see it and understand it from their point of view and appreciate that, we will learn to accept and get on in the way that is needed here on planet Earth. Because right now we are still in a fear-based victim consciousness of, this is me, this is my stuff, if you don't get it, tough shit, you know. And it's a very hard brick wall to have up and for others to penetrate, you know, and get into our space, because we're constantly on the defense, we're constantly guarding ourselves and protecting ourselves. And so much of this is natural, of course, and it's an innate part of how the mind protects us from, you know, because of what we've experienced in the past. But just that sentiment alone, that commitment that we can make to start to see the world in the eyes or from the eyes or in the color of another person, just even setting that commitment is a way that we can start to journey into a more open dialogue and an open, energetic, personal space that invites others in to come and teach us about them and share with us, because we're going to have to listen to one another and appreciate one another and recognize the fears that other people have and be okay with that, and not try and blast or project our own opinion, our own sense of what we think is right or wrong. We're going to have to strip that away and allow others to have their own stuff and allow that all to be okay within this space. Because the minute we try and change the way people think and project our own fears onto them to try and make them afraid or to try and make them change their behavior, that is when we create suffering for other people. And this is what 2021 is about. It's about unraveling from that suffering. It's about recognizing the suffering that we've all created together and how we can come together and create the new way. And so to come together and create the new way, we've got to learn to be impartial, but go beyond that. We've got to learn to appreciate and value other people's responses, fears, opinions, and allow that to be okay within our own space, and want to color our world with their opinions and with their ideas, want to appreciate the world with their opinion in it, with their fear in it, with their ideas in it, to appreciate the beauty and complexity in our world with the diversity that we have. This is the era that we are coming into as human beings, where we no longer need to tolerate each other. We don't, it's like, oh, and we need to tolerate and accept that, where we revel in diversity, where we enjoy diversity, and we want to see difference of opinions and ideas. We want to be challenged because we recognize that this helps us to learn and grow. This helps us to be more connected to the people around us, and that is important for humanity. So really, really important focus for 2021. But what we're being shown by spirit and by the ancestors is this card. Very, very, very relevant for this particular point in time in the Northern Hemisphere in winter. So in the Northern Hemisphere, where this is all this kind of global pandemic situation is very gripping, shall we say. So this is the void, and the void is stop, embrace winter and a great cosmic womb. So the void is asking us to retreat into the silence and stillness of winter, to appreciate this phase. So it could be really easy for us to be like, right, January 2021, let's go, let's get this show on the road. But actually, for a lot of us here, we've gone through a really intense year. We're kind of still coming through that. And we want to come into 2021 with a fresh set of perspective, of fresh eyes, fresh energy. I certainly feel renewed and refreshed after the break that I've had. Yet at the same time, I am recognizing that we are still in winter. And I want to be nurtured by the great cosmic womb. Because from this space, our ideas, our philosophy, our methods of how we are going to create the new way are going to be incubated and will emerge from this great cosmic womb, from this great silence and stillness of the winter. It makes total sense to let the land rest, to let everything go into hibernation, to just be still and observe the world around, allow things to unfold, and to gently invite in what we know, what we foresee, what we envision, the ideas, and let those mulch over so that in spring, we can choose and decide which ideas to birth. We can have those conversations and we can allow those to come into fruition right through into the summer and autumn. So staying aligned with the elements and the weather and nature and the cycles of nature is going to be really important this year, to not push beyond our boundaries and to let things naturally happen. So what came up in the South, which is all about creativity and abundance, this is what we will create, is despondence. So despondence is literally about evolutionary action, which I talked about before, already having a sense and knowing that that's what 2021 is all about. And despondence teaches us that the only route out of stagnation is motion. That if we do nothing, we must accept that we do nothing. So it's really easy, again, I will reiterate, to project blame on others for the situation that we're in, and to be like government and Boris and politics and this policy and the vaccines and everything else. But those are all symptoms. We've got to really understand what is going on here. What we can see happening in society is are symptoms, signs and symptoms of the deeper roots of all of this. And the deeper roots of all of this lies in various places, some of which is astrological, some of which is cyclical, some of which is all to do with the collective consciousness. There are various roots that are creating the symptoms of what's going on here. But actually, we spent a lot of time talking about that in 2020, getting really pissed off about it. 2021 is about taking evolutionary action. So how will we do that? And what will we do? Well, this is what is going to come out of the voids of this winter, out of the great cosmic womb. But so what's important for us to maintain our patience here and just to allow ourselves to be in the silence and stillness of winter is knowing that the time of evolutionary action is coming, the time where we will no longer be stagnant as humanity is coming, but we've got to allow that to naturally happen. What we tend to do is we force it with the people around us by using shame and guilt to try and make people feel bad about their actions and behaviors. And that doesn't work. That further retreats them into themselves. When they feel that shame, it disconnects them further from themselves and from others. It's not really the way to have influence and to make change. We've got to trust and know deep down that the stagnation is going to be transmuted and that we're going to be a part of that by bringing our love and light and bringing attention to various things when the time is right. So for now, just hold the vision, the intention that we will come out of our stagnation and we will create evolutionary action together when the time is right. And the final card, which was in the West, is we are the Hathors. And this is all about the deep love of the mother and the birth process, which we are in. And this time is calling for us to draw on that maternal energy within us and the maternal energy of the earth and of the cosmos and really feed from that. And be the mothers to each other and be the family to each other and really bring each other into love, envelop each other in this energy, because we just need to be nurtured right now. We just need to heal and we just need to be soothed. We just need to be nourished by the milk of the mother and remind ourselves and teach ourselves again how to be human, how to be love, how to come together in connection. Allow the energy of source, of the mother, of the great divine supreme field of knowledge of God to come in and envelop us and nourish us. That is what we are going to feed on. And what we've got to let go of is whatever is standing in our way of allowing ourselves to be nourished by this energy. So I hope you've enjoyed that transmission. Please leave your comments, share. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Have a beautiful 2021. I deeply salute you for the path that you are on. Hari Om Tat Sat.